Grant is up next with the lowdown on the all-new Nintendo 3DS. If you're a Nintendo fan, you don't want to miss this.
The DS is arguably Nintendo's greatest product. They've got multiple versions and sales never seem to decline. It's a handheld console that focuses on bringing Nintendo's famous stable of games to your fingertips. But with so many iterations of essentially the same console, how relevant is it actually? Since the release of the DS in 2004, we've seen a few iterations. We've seen it transform into 3D with the Nintendo 3DS, we've seen it get larger with the DS XL, we've seen it simplify itself all over again with the 2DS, and now, finally, we have the latest new Nintendo 3DS, a console that has packed a rather interesting array of new features. Sometimes I think to myself, my gadgets need more NFC for NFCing sort of stuff. Nintendo obviously heard my thinking because, well, there's NFC in the new 3DS. It might seem a strange addition, but it means that a few new functionalities can be brought to the table. The biggest one being the inclusion of amiibos. NFC, or near-field communication, allows Nintendo to do Skylander-like stunts, like making physical toys that store your character's progress and jumping into another console with all your scores intact possible. Having more collectibles means some cool toys for your shelf or some sweet bribery for the kids. It has a faster processor, which means new exclusive titles are incoming. New games means that potentially new buttons could be put to some very interesting use. A few extra inputs have been implemented. They've added an analog stick that resembles the famous touchpad replacement red knob, and it's pretty much exactly just that. It's not as great as you'd expect. It seems like a workaround on a physical device that can't naturally facilitate traditional analog sticks. That said, the PlayStation Vita does a very good job of it, and there's no reason why the DS can't. Another inclusion is extra buttons on the back of the device. They're very similar to the R1 and trigger buttons on a traditional console controller. The smaller iteration has these interchangeable faceplates, so if you're into that sort of customization, this might just be the device for you. The decision is clear at the end of the day. If you're a new Nintendo 3DS customer, then get the new version. You get to invest in the future of the console by playing newer games. But if you want to play a handful of games that already exist, or maybe you've got them already, then perhaps stick with the DS that you already have, or go pick up one secondhand.